Recently, representatives of the Estonian Foreign Intelligence Service published material about Russia's preparations for a possible conflict with the alliance. ISW analysts say the Estonian intelligence assessment is consistent with their findings about Russia's preparations for a future military conflict with NATO. Estonian intelligence published an annual report that focused on the threat to Estonia from the Russian Federation. The document notes that the pace of Russia's rearmament will directly depend on the war in Ukraine. A freeze or cessation of hostilities on the Kremlin's terms will give Putin the opportunity to constantly build up his forces along the border with NATO, and these forces will be larger than in February 2022, when he was preparing to give the order to invade Ukraine. Currently, the Kremlin has full control over the production of drones. Up to $1 million will be allocated from the budget annually until 2030 for the development of the Unmanned Aerial Vehicle project. The project itself was launched back in December 2023. It is planned to create up to 48 research centers throughout the Russian Federation. These centers should allow the Kremlin to abandon foreign components in the production of drones. Currently, the Russian Federation buys up to 80% of such parts abroad, with most of them coming through China. NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte warned that any attack by Russian President Vladimir Putin on the alliance would result in a devastating response. Speaking ahead of a NATO defense ministers' meeting in Brussels, Rutte emphasized the alliance's preparedness to protect its members and stressed the importance of increased defense spending among European and Canadian allies. He also echoed US President Donald Trump's call for NATO members to share more of the burden in military support for Ukraine. Addressing reports that Russia could initiate a major war in Europe within 5 years, Rutte refrained from directly commenting on intelligence assessments, but stated that NATO takes such warnings seriously. He reaffirmed the strength of the alliance's deterrence, asserting that Putin understands he would face severe consequences if he were to challenge NATO militarily.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived at the Munich Security Conference in Germany on Friday amid intense concern and uncertainty over the Trump administration's foreign policy. According to Associated Press, the future of Ukraine will be the top item on the agenda following a phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin this week. They pledged to work together to end the 3-year-old Russia-Ukraine conflict. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to meet Zelensky on Friday for talks that many hope will shed some light on Trump's ideas for a negotiated settlement to the war. The use of civilian vehicles by soldiers of the Russian army on the front line has increased. This includes various types of passenger cars, motorcycles, pickup trucks, UAZ cars, and quadricycles. This is mainly due to the fact that the occupying army is experiencing a shortage of military vehicles. The low defense capabilities of civilian vehicles against drones and other weapons also increases the number of casualties in the Russian army. Ukrainian drones have consistently targeted civilian vehicles carrying Russian servicemen, causing significant casualties to the occupying army. Footage circulating on Telegram channels shows drone operators from the Kherson unit striking at Russian soldiers traveling in various civilian vehicles. As a result, a large number of cars and motorcycles were blown up and destroyed, and the Russian soldiers traveling in these vehicles were killed.